Good morning, everyone. Boker Tov, Shavua Tov. We're starting now the Halachot of Hanuka, but from the Shulchan Aruch and the Mishnah Brura, the Chavetz Chaim, explanation on the Shulchan Aruch. So this is Siman Taf Resh Ayin, which is toward the end of the Orach Chaim section of the Shulchan Aruch, the first of the four sections. And the Shulchan Aruch starts with Dvarim Hasurim Ve'Mutarim Ve'Chanuka, things that are not allowed and allowed on Chanukah. He opens up with a little bit of the history, which we'll see from the Mishnah Brura. B'Chavhe B'Kislev, on the 25th of Kislev, Matchilim Chet Yemei Chanukah, we start the 8 days of Chanukah. Ve'Asurim Behesped V'Ta'anit, and it's asur to eulogize and to fast. Meaning if someone passes away, of course we have to bury them, but eulogies, which really eulogies to talk about the person, to cause others to cry, no, we don't do those type of eulogies. Divrei Torah, etc., fine, but not actual eulogies. And one cannot fast during the 8 days of Hanukkah. We're allowed to do melacha, we're allowed to go to work, we're allowed to do, it's like a weekday. V'nohagot, and there's a minhag. V'nohagot hanashim shelo la'asot melacha be'od she'hanerot dolkot. There's a minhag that women don't do melacha when the candles are lit. They don't do things that are not allowed on Shabbat. They don't do v'yesh mi she'omer she'en la'akel lahem. And there's even those that say don't be lenient on this. We'll see about this in a moment. So the Mishnah Brura goes through the history of Hanukkah. And the story of Hanukkah happened during the time of the second Bet HaMikdash, and there's a lot of bad gezerot on Bnei Israel, and they wanted to get rid of our Torah. They didn't let us learn Torah, and they went after our money, they went after our daughters, and they did a lot of difficulties, a lot of bad things against Bnei Israel. Until HaKadosh Baruch Hu had rachamim on Bnei Israel, and the Chashmonaim, sons of the Kohanim Gedolim, were able to fight against the Yevanim and saved Bnei Israel. And it was again because the second Bet HaMikdash stood for 420 years, and it was during those 420 years, about halfway, when the story of Hanukkah happened. So the Yevanim did not destroy the Bet HaMikdash, they entered the Bet HaMikdash, they defiled the oils of the Bet HaMikdash, but they did not destroy the Bet HaMikdash. And there was still a little bit more than 200 years after the story of Hanukkah until the destruction of the second Bet HaMikdash. And the day that Bnei Israel overcame the enemies was the 25th of Kislev, and it was on that day where they saw the Bet HaMikdash was defiled, and because every single day in the Bet HaMikdash they would light the menorah, but they didn't find any tahor, any pure oil, until they found just one jug, which had the seal of the Kohen Gadol, which only had enough to light for one day. And as we know, it was from that jug that they were able to light for 8 days, even though it was meant only for one. And there's different questions as to how the actual miracle happened. Did they put it in for 8 days and it just kept on staying lit for the 8 days? Or at the end of day one, they looked and the jug magically regrew again? Or after the first day they saw the oil was still there? Or did they pour a little bit of oil into each one, thinking it'll last a little bit of time, but it ended up lasting a whole day? And then they poured it again the next day, just a little bit, and ended up lasting the whole day. Nevertheless, what was supposed to last for one day lasted for 8 days. And what happened on day 9? What happened was that was enough time, 8 days was enough time to travel to the north of Israel in the area of Asher. That's V'tovel Bashem and Raglo, as we say in the parasha, that's where the oil was from. So it took 4 days to travel there and to get the oil ready, and 4 days to travel back to come with pure oil. So that's why we have Hanukkah for 8 days, and the establishment of Hanukkah happened with the Chachamim right there in that generation. They received the Ruach HaKodesh to establish it as a holiday every single day during the 8 days, to light candles and to remember the greatness And this is, of course, a mitzvah midirabanan, just like Megillah and Purim, and the holidays is called Hanuka. Chanu, Chafhei. Chafhei is the 25th of Kislev. Chanu is we rested and we were able to encamp. We were able to rest from our enemies on the 25th. And it's the days of Simcha and Hallel. We say the full Hallel. And also he says it's a custom to try to make everyone happy, that also the aniyim, the poor, go around knocking on doors for money, and we want to make them happy as well during the holiday times. And just to end, is that the reason for the minhag of ladies not doing melacha when the candles are lit, so it's only during the half an hour, because that's actually when the mitzvah is, for half an hour after the candles are lit. And the reason is so that if we see that the wife is not doing anything, then it will remind us that we're not allowed to use the candles for anything as well. And the truth is, the poskim that say that therefore it's only in the room where the candles are, but in a different room she could do melacha. Again, it's to remind us that, okay, mom's not working with anything, that means it's time for relax, that means we can't use the candles for our own thing, and rather we just gotta learn beside the candles and do other things, but not do melacha during that half an hour of the candles that are lit. I mean, the wife's not to do melacha, to remind us not to use the candles for our own usage. Okay, that's that for today. Minchat tonight at 4:25. Have a good day, everyone, and Shavua Tov.